we can make the Honda Pilot with a ton of mileage, over 360-some thousand miles on it. We're going to see if we can make it happy again, safe and roadworthy again for 600 bucks. Hey, if we can get it going for a $61 part, I'll be happy. Let's get to work. Just to get our bearings with the sideways motor here, bank 1, 3, and 5. That's bank 1. Bank 2 is 2, 4, and 6. And it's the downstream sensor. So this thing, unfortunately, has 4 sensors. So you could spend way over $500 just on sensors if you can't pinpoint which one needs to be replaced. So they have one right up behind there, which is hard to see. They have one right underneath this cover. They're both pointing up. Those are the upstream, or the closest to the engine. And down here, I sprayed them already because they get a bit rusty, are the downstream. This is bank 2. All the way tucked in back in there is bank 1. Thankfully, everything points towards bank 2 here being the one that needs to be replaced. So I'm going to spray it again. We're going to give it a couple minutes to work its way in there. I use the Schaefer's Penetrol, and then we'll see if we can break it loose. All you should need, once again, the Schaefer's Penetrol 90, a great way to penetrate rust and help break things free. Ratchet with a 7/8 O2 sensor tool. One of the only ways, especially in a lot of the positions that these sensors are put in, to get it out. But that should be all you need. Maybe something for leverage to help, if they're really tight, break the sensor loose with the ratchet here, like a pipe or a larger wrench. All right, so there she is. Slide you forward so it's not blurry. Right there she is. There we go. Get this over the wire and then slide it forward onto the sensor. Then you can get your ratchet on there and snap it into the tool, and it's going to be going from front to back counterclockwise, so you're gonna have to push back towards the back of the car. And if you need leverage, you could do something like this. You can get a pipe and then break it loose. I already have it broken loose. From there, once you have it broken loose, as you can see, you could just take it out by hand very easily, spinning it counterclockwise. The only thing that's going to be a little bit of a fight is the wire is going to be twisting. So there you go. And you just twist it back, unplug it from up top there, and get the new one in. Just to show you the Bosch compared to the, I don't even know what, I mean, this might be stock, some sort of a Volkswagen or Audi or Porsche stock sensor, but they are a little bit different. Threads are the same 7/8 size. Let's get the new one in. All right, when we put the other one up there, I want to kind of counter twist the wire. Let me see. It's going to be going like that, so we want to counter twist it like this. That way when we get it up in there and get it started, it's twisting the wire the right way, if that makes sense. Go as far as I can by hand. Okay, that's snug by hand. Now, let's get this bad boy on here again. We're gonna slip up over the wires. Carefully. And then get the ratchet up on there and make sure we're going the right way. Gotta reposition it. Okay. Well, that dropped out, so I don't have to reach for it. Now we just want to make sure that the wire is secure once again, staying away from hot things that it shouldn't be, and then we'll climb up top and fire it up and see what's going on. All right, let's hop up in here, fire it up. We're gonna have to run it a little bit and then run the scanner, the code scanner once again. Well, the check engine light is out. Probably gonna have to drive it 50 miles or so to reset the ECU, and maybe everything will go out. But right now we're just gonna have to drive it, and then we'll come back after 40, 50 miles, and it'll be a nice big loop, and we'll hook up the scanner once again. Let's go underneath, make sure there's no exhaust leaks, make sure everything looks good under there. Looks good, sounds good, no leaks. Runs good, runs really good. We're off and running. We're gonna put some miles on her and let the new sensor communicate with the control unit, and we'll see how it goes. So far, so good. I went on the highway, went on the country roads, mountain stop and go traffic. No engine light so far. I'm hopeful. Runs great. Air conditioning, ice cold. Feels good. When you go into brake, a little bit of a pull to the right, very slight. I will rebalance the tires between 65 and 70. There's a little bit of a wobble, goes away above and below. If that doesn't take care of it, four-wheel alignment, no big deal. If that's all it is, I don't know, 300. What is an 09 Honda Pilot worth with 360 some, approaching 500,000 miles? I'm going to guess I could probably get $2,500 for it. Paid $650, put a little bit into it. At the very least, do a couple videos on it, make money that way, flip it, make $1,000. I'd be happy with that. I also, if it doesn't work out, donate it one way or another to help somebody out. Cars for Kids, so many different charitable organizations that will take cars. So I wouldn't have a problem with that. So far, so good. Let's get back to the shop, hook it up to the scanner, and see what we have. See if it's picking anything up so far. All right, we have the key on. Let's bring in the Zurich ZR15S. Fire it up. Again, it's cool. It gives you a light so you can locate your port and get it plugged in. And we'll let it do its thing here. See if I can get an angle where it actually shows. Skip. Yeah, I know I didn't. All right, no powertrain, DTCs, or data stored in the computer. So we just need to drive it, guys. We need to drive it 50 plus miles. Sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it takes 100 miles, sometimes even more. There was one vehicle I was waiting to get PA state inspection. I drove it 225 miles until everything had communicated with each other. The battery must have been dead for a year, so it lost communication, no stored data at all for anything. I don't think I'm gonna have to go that far with this, but yeah, I'm happy about that. Okay guys, I'll let you know what happens as I put the miles on it. It should take care of it. If not, then catalytic converter. And there's a way, since they are very, very expensive, to bathe them, chemical bathe them, and it opens them up a little bit. And if it comes to that, maybe I'll put that work into it. But now I think you know why I enjoy shopping the red light lines of the auto auctions. The ones you get for under $1,000. It's kind of a crapshoot. Sometimes it's something easy and quick to fix, like this might be here, or it's something more complicated and involved and a hell of a lot more expensive. But it's a lot of fun. I'm going to keep picking up these cars from that particular red light line, and we're going to have a ball. We're not even close to being finished with this. We're going to be doing a lot of testing, wet sanding on the paint, different detailing tools and products, and removing scratches, and working on paint chips, restoring wheels, cleaning interiors, polishing glass, polishing plastic, and so much more. Stay tuned to the channel. For those of you that are new, if you want to join the Apex family, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. If you want to stay linked up with your channel, interact with it, thumbs up or thumbs down or a comment of some kind. That way the algorithm will let you know when we have new content available. This has been Brian from Apex. I'll catch you in the next video.